Hello and welcome back to another Horizon Europe Explainer video. Today we're going to look at a different topic from Cluster 6. Cluster 6 is going to be, it's the FARM2FORK call and it's 0105. This call is focusing on Animal Welfare 2.0. Its deadline is 6th of October. It's a research and innovation action, so it's looking for basic research as well as applied research to be done in this project. Overall, it's tied to the Farm2Fork initiative, which is a major part of the European Green Deal, trying to get food production much more sustainable and more cost effectively done for farm producers or food producers in Europe. Particularly this one is looking at monitoring the welfare state of animals, trying to get that from lots of different data sources. It's looking at bringing data integration in to different productions, so that you can get much more value out of your data. It's an €8 million project, so kind of generous enough budget. Crucially, there's only one project going to be funded in this call. So if you have use cases, definitely get out and see if you can network and get yourself involved in this call. Looking at for between TRL level 3 to 5, so very much in the basic research side. If you look at the core topics in general that this call is looking for, very much in the area of food production. So for your food producer, right across the supply chain, even if you work with food, it's looking at welfare across all stages. So transportation of animals in the field, animals in the production facilities. Integration of data is going to be a huge aspect to this, and what they call out in the call text is that data around welfare is very much used by food producers for their own kind of economic benefit within their own organizations. What they really want to see is that this data to be leveraged much further along the supply chain or to have a wider impacts in the organization. So if you're collecting data, if that data is available, to see if it can be used in lots of other different contexts or if it can be combined with other data. And looking at that combinations of data, artificial intelligence, I believe, is going to play a big role in this type of project as well, where you're looking at, can we learn something from different sources of data? Can we combine it in different ways? Can we combine it with different sources of data? And to learn something about animal behavior and perhaps even making predictions around animal behavior. Ultimately, it's looking at, to increase the value of data to these organizations and to create kind of business models around sharing that data around animal welfare across the value chain. And this is one of the aspects of trying to make farming more sustainable by getting more value from this data. Ultimately, looking at, creating best practices around how to handle data, what the type of data to collect, and ultimately looking at the prediction of animal welfare. The types of consortiums around this, and I'm sure they're being put together and being created already, it's going to have industry, European food production industry at its core. It's really targeting those organizations that are already collecting data. They're already using it in a way, perhaps in making kind of economic decisions in the business, but it's trying to get those food producers to widen how they use that data. So those businesses are going to be really core partners in this. Academic partners around, being able to come up with new animal welfare estimation models or assessment models, new ways of measuring the welfare of animals, be it, through digital technologies or other kind of farming practices. The development of data analysis prediction models for welfare. Farmers as well, having those kind of really early food producers involved is going to be really important in this project as well. So farming organizations, they'll really need to have their say in these projects. Additional kind of academic partners you could have around, the social sciences. Horizon Europe is really trying to get these partners involved in these types of projects. Looking at kind of the food science aspects, the economic aspects of these animal welfare as well, and they're going to have an impact on kind of having a wider impact on the markets. Further industry and academic partners around, right across the food production chain. So can you measure better animal welfare much further along the food value chain. That's going to could be an important aspect and help you to maximize how you're going to hit those expected impacts from the project call. And then other partners looking at dissemination, education, different business models, trying to maximize those results further again. Kind of interesting topics, and Walton would have a very deep expertise in some of these topics as well, and we were involved in some kind of animal welfare projects as well through other Horizon 2020 projects. Looking at new measures for animal welfare, perhaps bringing in environmental sensors, Internet of Things into it, automated identification of the distress behaviours in animals. So potentially, identifying early lameness detection, identifying, maybe poor health of cattle sooner than what would need antibiotic treatment. Potentially, computer vision could play a role in this, or some other kind of non-intrusive analysis of animal behaviour. And also looking at tools that integrate data across the supply chain in a secure way and in a way that respects the commercial sensitivity of that data as well. That's going to be really, really important here. And again, Walton has expertise in these types of technologies. So this is a very, very interesting call. That's just a highlight of some of the topics. If you're interested in this call, please get in touch. And again, we're here for your questions. Talk to you next time.